Good morning, everybody, and welcome to this morning's severe weather update. So we have two areas under enhanced risk of severe weather for today, one across northwest Texas and southwestern Oklahoma, and the other across southeastern Indiana, northern Kentucky, much of Ohio, far western West Virginia, Pennsylvania, and New York State. In the two orange shade areas, we have a slight risk from northwest Texas through much of Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, the Ohio-Tennessee Valley, through upstate New York and southeastern Michigan in the yellow, marginal risk in the dark green from the Rio Grande Valley through southeast Michigan and Vermont. And taking a look at our probabilities of seeing a tornado within 25 miles of a location today, we have a 5% chance of a tornado across areas of northwestern Texas and south central Oklahoma. So if you live in areas like Lubbock, Midland, Abilene, Wichita Falls, and Fort Sill, make sure you're on guard for a few scattered tornadoes, especially this afternoon, evening, and overnight. And then we also have a 5% chance of a tornado across much of Ohio, Pennsylvania, and New York State. So if you live in areas like Columbus, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Rochester, Watertown, and Binghamton, make sure you're on guard for a few scattered tornadoes up here as well, primarily through the afternoon hours. And if you live in areas shaded in green, make sure you're also on guard for an isolated spin-up tornado. Taking a look at our damaging wind threat, we have a 30% chance of damaging straight-line winds of 58 miles per hour stronger within 25 miles of a location across southeastern Indiana, northern Kentucky, much of Ohio, far western West Virginia, northwestern Pennsylvania, and western New York State. Make sure you're on guard for numerous damaging wind gusts if you live across this red shade area, primarily through the afternoon hours. We have a 15% damaging wind threat across our slight risk area and a 5% chance in our marginal risk area. And if you live across areas just south of Lubbock and Midland, Abilene, Wichita Falls, and Fort Sill, you have the potential to see wind gusts of 75 miles per hour or stronger, with some of these storms going into the evening and overnight hours. And then taking a look at our large hail threat. Large hail threat will be primarily confined to areas of northwest Texas and south central Oklahoma, as we have a 30% chance of quarter-size hail or larger within 25 miles of a location across this red shade area in northwest Texas and southwestern Oklahoma. If you live in this hatched area, make sure you are parking your cars in the garage, as you have the potential to see a golf ball, a tennis ball, a baseball size hail or larger in areas of northwest Texas through central Oklahoma, northwest Arkansas, and southern Missouri. Timing out our storms with the 12Z run of the HRRR model, first across the Ohio Valley. Going to be seeing numerous rounds of severe thunderstorms. First one moving through Columbus around 1 p.m. this afternoon, primarily looking like a damaging wind threat. And then going into about 4 to 5 o'clock this afternoon, we're going to be seeing a lot of storm coverage across southern Indiana, especially southern Illinois, producing primarily damaging winds and scattered tornadoes. This will go through about 5 and 6 o'clock across southern Indiana through southwestern Ohio. Storms moving through Louisville, Lexington, Cincinnati, south of Columbus, going into about 6 to 7 p.m. Storms will continue to push east across Kentucky, southern Ohio, into Pennsylvania and central New York State, producing a lot of damaging winds primarily, and a few scattered tornadoes alongside the damaging winds. Going into about 9, 10 o'clock, these storms will push through West Virginia, southeastern Kentucky, southwestern Pennsylvania, and begin to weaken below severe limits as they push through northern areas of Virginia and western Maryland in somewhere between about 1 to 3 a.m. Eastern Time. Looking at the storms across Texas and Oklahoma, these are going to be a lot more robust. We're going to be seeing our storms initiate sometime around 2 to 3 o'clock this afternoon in northwestern Texas, producing a lot of very large destructive hail as they do so. And then going into about 4 and 5 o'clock, storms will increase in coverage, especially across northwest Texas, the Texas Panhandle, central, south central Oklahoma, producing hail up to baseball-sized hail or larger across these areas. So make sure you do have your cars parked in the garage this afternoon and evening across areas of northwest Texas and southern Oklahoma. Going into about 6 and 7 o'clock, widespread large hail and damaging winds will move through northwest Texas through south central Oklahoma. And then as we go into about 8 and 9 o'clock, a mesoscale convective system will form out of all these storms, Make sure you're really preparing for a robust damaging wind threat if you live across areas north of DFW and south of Oklahoma City as we go between about 9 p.m. and midnight, as I think we're going to be seeing quite a potent MCS move through the area between this time frame, going into southeastern Oklahoma as we go into about 1 to 2 a.m., also producing a lot of damaging winds and QLCS tornadoes, as it does so perhaps into western Arkansas into about 3 a.m. And then another round of large hail and damaging winds will move through northwest Texas through southwestern and south central Oklahoma as we go into about 3, 4, 5 a.m. And this is another round of robust damaging winds and large hail moving through the same exact areas as we go into tomorrow morning. So make sure you're preparing now for a severe weather outbreak if you live across both areas of Texas and Oklahoma and the Ohio Valley and western areas of the Northeast. Thanks for watching. Please stay safe and have a wonderful day, my friends.